The Sacred Circle of Sisterhood, Finding Strength Beyond Ourselves. Last night, as I sat in a dimly lit cafe surrounded by women whose voices rose and fell with the rhythm of their poetry, I felt something essential return to me. Something that the daily rush of business calls, family responsibilities, and endless to-do lists had slowly drained away. My soul was being replenished simply by being present with my sisters. The transition from professional engineer to full-time mother and business owner has been one of the most challenging journeys of my life. Engineering problems have solutions, clear, logical pathways that, when followed correctly, lead to predictable outcomes. But motherhood? Entrepreneurship? These are wild, unpredictable landscapes where the rules constantly change and the ground shifts beneath your feet, just when you think you've found your balance. What many don't tell you about this transition is how isolating it can feel. In the engineering world, I was surrounded by colleagues, collaborative projects, and structured challenges. Then, suddenly, I found myself navigating the beautiful chaos of raising 4 children while building a business from scratch, often alone at my kitchen table during precious nap times or late into the night after bedtime stories had been read. This is why sisterhood has become my lifeline. Last night, watching my dear friend Samia perform a poem about her grandmother's hands, how they kneaded bread and later guided her through her first pregnancy, tears streamed down my face. Not just because the imagery was beautiful, but because in that moment I felt truly seen. Every woman in that room understood the weight of legacy, the pressure of perfection, and the struggle to honor both our ambitions and our families. We need these moments of connection, not as luxury, but as necessity. When I first stepped away from my engineering career, many questioned my decision. "You've worked so hard for your credentials," they said. "Are you sure you want to give that up?" What they didn't understand was that I wasn't giving up. I was expanding my definition of success, my capacity for creation, my understanding of what meaningful work could look like. But this expansion required new sources of strength, new models of possibility. I found them in my sisters, the women who showed me how to negotiate contracts while soothing a teething baby, the friends who celebrated my first major business milestone with as much enthusiasm as they'd celebrated my eldest child's first steps. The circle who gathered around me when my 3rd child was hospitalized for a week, ensuring my business emails were answered and my other children were fed and loved in my absence. These are the women who made it possible for me to eventually take my 4 children on dream trips around the world, from exploring ancient temples in Japan to camping under the stars in Tanzania. These journeys were not just vacation photographs for social media, they were physical manifestations of a promise I'd made to myself, that building a business would create freedom not just financially, but in how we experienced life as a family. But I couldn't have fulfilled this promise without regular infusions of feminine wisdom and support. The monthly poetry slams, the weekly coffee dates, the weekend retreats, these aren't indulgences. They are investments in sustainability. Just as we wouldn't expect our phones to function without recharging, we cannot pour from empty vessels. Last night, as my friend Layla shared a poem about her divorce and subsequent rebirth, I watched the faces of women around the room. Some nodded in recognition, others reached for tissues, but all were fully present, holding space for pain and transformation with equal reverence. This is what sisterhood offers, witnesses to our becoming, people who see both who we've been and who we're emerging as, without demanding that we choose between identities. When you're balancing the precise calculations of running a business with the heart-centered intuition of motherhood, having witnesses to this complex dance is invaluable. My sisters don't ask me to compartmentalize. They understand that the woman who strategizes marketing campaigns is the same woman who braids her daughter's hair before school, and that both activities require presence, creativity, and love. To the woman reading this who feels stretched beyond capacity, who wonders if she can really build a successful business while raising confident children, who questions whether her professional training has been wasted on domestic life, find your sisters. Not just friends who share common interests, but women who will hold your contradictions with tenderness. Women who understand that your ambition and your nurturing nature aren't opposing forces, but complementary powers. Create regular sacred time for these connections. Whether it's poetry slams, hiking trips, or simple gatherings over tea, prioritize these moments as you would any crucial business meeting, because they are equally essential to your success. The journey from professional engineer to mother and entrepreneur would have broken me without my circle of sisters. They were the ones who reminded me that my technical mind was still valuable in the world of organic family growth and creative business building. They celebrated with me when we finally saved enough from my business to take the children to explore the ancient engineering marvel of Petra, watching my professional past and present motherhood merge in a moment of pure wonder. Sisterhood doesn't erase the challenges of our multiple roles, but it does ensure we don't face them alone. Last night, as poetry filled the air and understanding filled the spaces between us, I was reminded once again, we rise together, or not at all.